Hey everyone, Jeremy from Unforeseen Decals here. I'm going to take you through how to put on your new graphics kit. There's a few things that you're going to need. You need some acetone to clean your plastics down. It's best to do this if your bike's got brand new plastics on it, or even if they're old, as new plastics have a shiny film over them, and by cleaning it down with acetone, it takes a bit of that off, which helps your graphics stick to it. You need your rag for your acetone, a blade in case you need to do any trimming, normally not too much, and then a heat gun. And a heat gun helps soften the graphics and will help it go over the curves and things like that if you need it to. So taking the seat off makes it easier to get your stickers and your decals to come over the edges here, rather than if you've got your seat on, you're trying to apply your graphics and you've got to feed it in. Take your seat off, you've got a bare bike, and it makes the job a lot easier. So soak the old rag and just clean your plastics down. Make sure you go right around the edges, you know, right to the edge, all the way in the gap, all the way in the creases and the little duffies. So get right in there, clean that down. Better job you do of this, cleaning your plastics down, that the longer your graphics will last and won't peel back and things like that. Like, it's all about the preparation. So just make sure you get that real good in there. Grab your heat gun and just heat the plastic up a bit where you've just put the acetone. Just make sure it's 100% dry. Alright, so grab your first sticker. Choose one that matches whichever part you want to start with. I'm going to choose the front number board here. So taking the full backing paper off just makes it easier to line up. So you pretty much look at the bottom there, line her up. Line it down the middle here. Put your finger straight down the middle, and then once that's holding, pull your decal back to the middle and just work your way out to the edge. Just take your time, and any bubbles that may be there, you can just push them out all the way to the edge. I've got my finger there, just holding back the sticker as I push it down, so that keeps it back like this, so that I can get any air bubbles out. If I let go of it and push it, it might just go automatically down and grab an air bubble. So just always hold it back, and then come back here. So you've got your line down the middle from before. Pull this side back to that line, and go again from the middle out. Just using your finger, rubbing it along. This way you shouldn't really get any bubbles at all. And that should line up spot on. So here we've got a wee brake lines will come under that. A wee bit tricky. Hold that. Follow the curve. Relax your finger a little bit. Push it on. Nice one decal done. So next up we're going to do the front fender. This can be a bit tricky with just the different angles and curves going on. Once again, I take the full backing paper off, just so I've got control. I stick it on my hand, hold it, I'll line up the tip of the front fender sticker. Keep in mind, you can take your stickers on and off multiple times, you know, if it's not lined up. So for instance, I'll just push that down there to let it hold while I line the rest of it up. Just sit that down nicely. Right, I'll come back here and I'll line it up, and I'll just go straight up the middle again, just like previously. And I'll come out. There you go. Then I'm getting to like a 90-degree curve here, so keeping it back a little bit so it doesn't stick down. You can grab your heat gun just to soften this, to make it a little bit easier to go around, you see. So just heat it up a bit, just hold it with your fingers. You don't want it too hot, just enough to soften it. And then it will mould around the shape of the plastic a lot better. And if you keep your fingers here like this, it will stop it from sticking down by itself and holding air bubbles in there. Just follow your way around the corner. Start with the right hand radio shroud there. Start with the middle piece. Why I start with the middle piece is it's the biggest piece. Line it, and you sort of start it from one point here. From the tip, line her up. Just push it down with your finger just to grab it so you can line up the rest of it. See, and then you'll have some points that you can line up. So here, obviously we do this part first because you can move this bit and this bit just slightly to line things up, and smaller bits to work with. So we'll go straight up the middle. So you can, if you want to, if you don't have it lined up, like I just didn't, you know, it's not a problem to put it down, pull it up, put it down, pull it up. It's not going to affect the sticker. It's very sticky, so you've got time. So we'll go up the middle there. And once again, we'll pull it back to the middle and work our way out. A bubble there maybe, so you can feel free to pull that up, get that bubble out. Go again. We'll get that heat gun just to soften up as we're going to go over this wee edge. Soften it up. Off that piece, keep it up your finger. On out the top bit of the shroud here, when there's a hole on your stickers, like a bolt hole, normally line that up first, as it gives you a good spot to start with. And the last thing you want to start down here, place it in a position that you think's right and get up here all the way up and it doesn't line up. So starting at the hole makes a big difference. Right, so we'll do the side num panel here. There's a couple of holes and a wee end here. It's good to line these three up first. So start with this first one. Just put your, so get to where you think. Push it down just to help line things up. Yep. Finger up here. Get it in position. Right, so pretty much run my finger from this hole up to that hole, up to this hole, to this hole. Then it's easy for me to pull back and come out, and then I'll do the same again. I'll pull it back and go out that way and go with all the curves of the plastics. So what's going to happen here is we're going to get a bubble. So there's a bubble there that I've missed. So just put your fingers in there, lift it up, bubble out. Now we can use it, because there's like a wee curve coming up, a little bit of heat just to soften this. Will help us out. Not too much, just a little bit. Next is the rear fender. Same again, just take all the backing paper off, makes it easier to line up. And then just work your way out again. Making sure all the bubbles and things get pushed out to the sides. It's easier to adjust this, take this off to get that little sticker in there, but if you do put your fingers under there, you can slide it under there, still works. So we get asked quite a bit whether to keep your fork guards on or off the bike when applying graphics. We recommend taking them off. It's just easier to get right around the curve, and also if you've got a whole shot button like this bike does, you can take it all off and then apply your sticker. And this is where, if you haven't used a knife already, this is where it'll come in handy to cut out the hole for the whole shot button. So with a fork guard, rather than the rest of the bike, you start down the middle of a high point. Start on the edge, line up an edge first, keeping your thumb here so it doesn't go down by itself, and just slowly come around with the shape of the guard. The whole shot button stuff's here, just go straight over it because you're going to trim that out later. So next step is to get your knife, just here. Look for where your hole is. Get your knife, stab it through there, where your cutty, in each hole, so you can see it from the other side. Then put your knife in, rest it against the edge where the hole is, and just slowly let the knife follow it around. These little bolts can quite easily just fall out, so it's good to make sure you tighten them up properly, or even a tiny little bit of Loctite, just so that they don't come out when you're riding. There you go, whole shot button's on, ready to go back on the bike. So there you have it, that's how you apply your new graphics kit with Unforeseen. So here at Unforeseen, not only do we do custom graphics kit for your dirt bike, we also have our own apparel range. So if you, for instance, you like the donuts, you can get a t-shirt with donuts on it.